All right, welcome to the call, everyone. My name is Mark, and tonight we're going to do an update on the Origin project. And of course, as you all know, there's a ton of things going on right now in the back office as we transition over into phase two. And so I've got several of our team leaders on, and I'm going to bring them on to ask them just a few questions about where we are right now to help everyone have a better understanding. And so we know that Origin is preparing right now to release the world's first privacy stablecoin. And this is huge because people want privacy. They want true freedom when it comes to handling their money. Everybody's in our pockets, right? They want to know exactly what we're doing. They're tracking our money. They're doing all these different things. And the initial promise of cryptocurrency was a form of privacy. But of course, we found that there is no privacy. And so, for example, when you're sending Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other cryptos from one person to the other, they can track your wallet address. They can see your entire history. They can see how much money you sent, and they can see where you sent it. But there is one privacy coin out there. It's called Monero, which is truly private. They can't see any of those things. But that coin, the value fluctuates according to the market. And so you might send a certain amount, but they might get a different amount because the price and the market may have changed. So if you have a privacy coin that is stable and maintains its current rate, well, guess what? People like that. And Monero right now, the volume is well over $150 million a day. And we believe that this coin that Origin is going to release can be more popular than that. So first thing I want to do is go ahead and bring Mark on the call. And Mark, you should be able to hear me right now. I'd like to welcome you to the call. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Mark. Yep, very exciting. As you said, you put it very well. A lot of really fantastic things happening that have never happened before, just like Origin itself and its sibling, the older sibling, Olympus, very unique. So yeah, it's an exciting time.
So Mark, if you would, if you can talk a little bit about where we are right now. Of course, we know that some of the LGNS, has been burned. We know that money has been released in terms of, I believe, $5 million worth of DAI in order to provide liquidity for the privacy stablecoin. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. They just came, we did three proposals, 004, 005, and 006, three separate proposals, all to basically clean house. Okay, so what they did, anything that was not being utilized, but there, they, like you mentioned, they would burn it or transfer it or whatever. Now, to do this in a true DAO, you have to have a vote, a consensus. Okay, you just can't go changing things without a vote, and this is good. This is good for us. It's protection because it is a renounced contract, and that's the way things are done in a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization. So they did these three. They all passed. We all had the opportunity to vote. I know I voted. And it passed like pretty much unanimously. I think somebody put one no vote. I think they did that maybe just to test it, but to see if it really worked. But that was about it. Now, what they're doing, like you said, they're burning there, and you can go and read these proposals and see exactly what they're doing. And they've all been executed now. And when you go to the buy button in your back office, you are going to see now, you're going to see just A, not even stablecoin, just A. You have a new logo for it as well. And on the other side, you're going to see DAI because, like the old days with the US dollar, you used to have gold backing it. Okay, now they just print it however they want. But with the stablecoin A or the A, DAI backs it because we know DAI is worth a dollar. So there is backing to this. So it's not like just something, a token that's just going to be out there. And, this is the real deal. And it's backed by a real value, which is what we want. And eventually, as this goes, we're going to get a lot more information coming out in the days ahead. We'll know exactly how to go about getting it, utilizing it, how to work with A-Pay, which will be coming, the move to another network, privacy network, and all these different things are going to be coming out very, very shortly, and we will keep everybody informed on how this will go about. And it's going to be exciting. I can tell you, I've been waiting over a year. When I first looked at this in May of 2024, that was what got me most excited. I said, stablecoin, privacy, stablecoin. And plus, I saw all this history of Olympus and now Origin. And I said, wow, this is really powerful. So that's why I got in, and I am really excited about this. So, yeah, I hope that, but anyway, like Mark said, they did a big cleanup. Anything that was not needed, they cleaned it up. And one other thing, because you'll see it under there, they re-audited. Okay, we have a real auditing process here. Certic, it's the best there is. There's a lot of like knockoff companies that do certifying, but trust me, you want to get your audit done by a company like Certic. That's where all the big boys go. And that is being audited right now. So anytime they make changes, not only do they get our consensus, but they also do an audit to prove that everything is correct. So that's where we're at now.
All right, awesome, awesome. I really appreciate that. And what I like to do is bring David on, and Dave, one of the things that people ask about, they say, "Hey, listen, the value of the coin has been going down a little bit," and of course, we know that the compounding rate that has been reduced a little bit. But I wonder if you can talk about those two things in light of where we are with the A coming out and the overall picture of the project.
Absolutely. Start by saying good evening, Mark. Thank you for having us tonight, and welcome to everyone that attended tonight. I think you're in the right place at the right time to get the updates you need to proceed with this project. I'm going to start by talking a little bit about something that the United States just passed, the Genius Act. Well, what is that? It gives the backbone for the regulation of stablecoins. Let me say that again. It gives the framework, the backbone to the regulation, the model for stablecoins. Now, why would they do that? Why would they go and make regulation for stablecoins in an industry where they were critical of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the other cryptos? Because they're starting to say, if you can't beat it, you better join it. Because they start to realize that stable coins give you the ability to send assets in seconds, to send it cheap. It gets so many advantages, and it just works better for the traditional financial sector. Now, we are in the decentralized space. Why would they offer this as the traditional financial space? Because they want you, just like you took your dollar, to put their digital assets in their hands as well. What does that mean for them? Control, money, profit. Why don't you take that control and keep it? Your wealth, keep it. And the profits, keep it. Origin LGNS, this platform gives you the ability to do all three of those things with the stablecoin A and the A payment system. Now let's talk about the price action and what we've been seeing with that. This is an open market, just like Bitcoin. So we as a community, we sell or we buy. And when we oversell, the price goes down. When we overbuy, the price goes up. And all of these things are affected and they have impact on the treasury. Now, the treasury we know has ballooned to an astonishing number of over 2 billion. And because of that, the ROI, the returns we've been seeing every 8 hours, have been going down. That's good because we're being successful and spreading the word and people being involved and working towards the latter stages of this platform, which is phase 2 and phase 3, stablecoin A and A payment. Now, what you're seeing in the back office in the buy section, it answers some questions. This is like a puzzle that we're all putting together. What questions are it answering? It answers the question of how we go from LGNS to A token, and we see it there. There's a conversion, and then from DAI to the A token. That's what we suspect from what we're seeing starting to be created in that back office, and that's powerful. So stay the course, people. There's shinier objects out there that promise bigger returns. I'm not telling you not to diversify. But when you look at platforms that are trying to do what this perfect platform is doing, maybe you should stay the course a little bit and see how this one plays out. Because when that A token comes out and gives the ability for people to do payments in a decentralized world and to stake it in a decentralized world, people are going to come running. So stay the course. I know that's a lot, Mark. Hopefully I answer your question.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that, David. And I know we've got Sarah on the line, and I want to give her an opportunity to share her thoughts as well. And Sarah, I couldn't promote you to the panelist side, but I can certainly unmute you, and hopefully you're in a place where you can share your comments and your thoughts. Stand by one moment. All right, there you are. All right. So you should be able to unmute yourself, Sarah. Welcome to the call. How are you this evening?
Excellent. Thank you. I am honored to be here.
Well, we're so glad. We are so glad to have you. You have such a unique perspective on this entire project. And so we would be remiss if we didn't ask you to share a few thoughts. And so if you would, what are your thoughts concerning some of the topics we discussed thus far tonight?
What I really want to hone in on is the encouragement. I think Dave and Mark both did a fabulous explaining, what we're looking at, what we are right on the cusp of, the horizon of, that A token. Mark, poor Mark. Mark's been waiting ages for this, and the rest of us, we're on the latter end of that well. But I just want to encourage everybody. As Dave talked a lot about it being a community project and staying the course. And to me, that's the profound part. Are you going to be a believer? And are you going to stay the course and hold that strength? Or are you just going to jump ship and run? To us, this is a massive foundation for us, and we see the vision. Anybody who has questions and doesn't understand what we're looking at and why it's so significantly profound to have the anonymity and the autonomy in a protocol, this is groundbreaking, guys. Educate yourself and believe. And, outside of that, I hate to say it, but I am stoked. I cannot wait for this A token and to see where this project goes.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. So let me do this. I want to go right now to CoinMarketCap, everyone. Let me just go ahead and switch my screen over. Give me just 1 second here. And I want to take a look at some real numbers, okay? Because it's very important that we understand what we are on the verge of doing. And for someone to be able to duplicate what we are doing here, ladies and gentlemen, they have to have some really very smart developers in the background, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone can see how special this project is. But what I want to do is go right here to CoinMarketCap, and you can do this on your own. And I want to go to the #1 privacy coin, which happens to be Monero. It's number 25 most popular crypto in the world. All right, I want to click on it because I want you all to have a close, deep dive on this specific coin. All right. So first of all, you can see that this is driven by demand. The value is driven by demand. People buying and selling. You see it going up and down, right? Just like LGNS, it goes up and down based on the buying and selling of the community that supports it. So this is normal. But I want you to see here, it has a 24-hour volume, ladies and gentlemen, of $139 million every 24 hours. What does that mean? People want a privacy coin. people want to have freedom when it comes to moving their money. They don't want to be controlled. They don't want to be how can you say it, spied upon. They want to have that complete freedom and autonomy. That's why this coin is number 22 most popular, 25 most popular cryptocurrency in the world. So now, as I mentioned earlier, suppose you had a coin that was private, but yet it was stable. It didn't go up and down like this because you could decide that, hey, you want to send someone some money right now, but by the time they get it, the value has dropped because the market is going up and down. So you haven't been able to efficiently take care of that obligation that you had because the value of your money dropped. And so now we have a stable coin, the world's first, that's coming out, that's private. That's what we have here in Origin, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a minor thing. This is a major thing, and you and I are here first. We are the first adopters of the world's first privacy stable coin. That's a huge thing, ladies and gentlemen. And we don't really know how huge it's going to be for us, but I know one thing. Now is the time to absolutely hold on, to buckle your seatbelt and to hold on for the ride because something special is taking place right in front of our eyes. I believe that we have the potential to have a legacy program. What do I mean by that? Something that you'll be able to leave to your children's children. A legacy program. That's what I believe this is. All right. So listen, we're not going to hold you any longer. We just wanted to give you an update. Of course, we're going to be back on Thursday with our regular call, and I'm going to be changing the call time to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think it's a better time than 7. And so Thursday's call, which will be a complete overview where you can invite your guests, that will be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mark, I'm going to bring you back. Do you have any further thoughts that you would like to share with everyone?
No, that was great. David, you hit the nail right on the head, as they say. Sarah as well. It is special. We have it. We're the only ones that have it. We're the only ones that will ever have it because I don't think there's anyone. There have been many that tried, but no one has ever been successful at duplicating what Olympus and Origin has done. No one. They've tried. There's a couple out there, and they're they're trying, but I don't want to go any further than that. And so be secure that you're in a real deal. Olympus 4 years, Origin over a year, almost a year and a half now. So we are in the right place at the right time.
Thank you so much, Mark. And David, any closing thoughts as well?
Yes, I will just reiterate, stay the course, folks. I know that price may seem like it's dropping, but we have an element unlike Bitcoin, unlike Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and even Monero. We have the ability to compound. So just keep on compounding. And as I talked about before, if you intend to sell, sell. If you intend to hold and compound, you do that. But never let fear drive you to action. Back to you, Mark.
All right. Thank you so much. And Sarah, any closing comments before we finish up tonight?
I love what Dave just said. That is probably one of the biggest things I have learned in this space. Never let fear drive you. When one zigs, you zag. Let that sink in. You are all right on the cusp of ground-breaking revolutions, and this is going to be huge.
Thank you, Sarah. I really appreciate it. Appreciate that fear of missing out. So many people fear missing out, and so much so that they can't see what they already have, the eggs in the basket right now, so to speak. All right. So we've got the compounding, we've got everything right now with us right now versus something that hasn't been created, something that's just a thought, something that's just words. All right. Do you want to swap what we have right now for that? That hasn't even been created yet. Well, that's a choice that we all have. And I believe that we have the ability to make the right choice because there's always going to be other shiny objects out there, ladies and gentlemen, but we've got a winner. It's proven, and it continues to prove itself every single day. So thank you for joining us again. We'll be back on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Of course, we have an information website, which is plantofreedom.com. If you're here for the first time, you want to learn more about this project, you can go there and watch a complete overview. And then again, we'll be back on Saturday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. Really appreciate all of you being on this call. Make it a great evening. We look forward to seeing you on Thursday. Goodbye, everyone. Have a great day.